Have you ever wondered why your zodiac sign is funny? Well, we're going to find out today, so stay tuned. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Mina. I'm a professional astrologer who likes to approach lighthearted topics like this sometimes, but I also have serious content. So if you're new here, hi, I'm Mina. Please join me in an astrological discussion. We can hang out. You'll be informed when I release my weekly videos, so smash subscribe so we can make that happen. Alright you guys, I've just been on a non-serious roll here because it's Sagittarius season and it's just, I'm a Sagittarius Mars. It's really hard for me to be serious all the time, and when it's Sagittarius season, I just can't be serious. I'm sorry. So today we're going to have a really fun topic and discuss why each zodiac sign is funny. Now, please pay attention to your big three, your ascendant, sun, moon sign, but also, hey, if you resonate with your Gemini Venus in terms of being funny, or your Taurus Mars, I mean, who am I to say that that isn't legit? So keep that in mind when I'm going through the signs. Let's start with number one, Aries. So Aries is funny because there's no social tact there. It's opposite Libra. Libra is the social diplomat, the master of social etiquette, and Aries is none of that. So a lot of times Aries is funny merely being themselves, and I can attest to this personally. I'm an Aries rising, but I also have been around a lot of Aries people, and yeah, they'll be in situations and they will literally just say the exact thing you should not say, and they will, you know, get on people's bad side. So for example, I was getting my hair cut, my last haircut I got by this beautiful girl, and I gave her so many compliments. I mean, she really was beautiful. And she was telling me about this wedding she went to and how there was an all-you-can-eat buffet. Well, she was a little bit on the larger side, so right when she said, oh, and there was an all-you-can-eat buffet, my first reaction was to say, oh, I bet you loved that. And I just didn't realize how it came off until 30 seconds later, and in my head I was like, fuck, what am I supposed to do? I can't take it back at this point. So it was pretty awkward, you guys, but be patient with your Aries people. A lot of times when Aries people are funny in that mean, not socially tactful way, it's truly not intentional. It's really just us being social idiots. But anyway, share with me your Aries experiences in the comments. I really love those type of stories because it makes me feel better about myself. Alright, number two, Taurus. I want to say this. I don't think any of the earth signs, in my opinion, are intentionally funny. I think that when they're trying to not be funny is when they're funny. And with Taurus, Taurus doesn't really, they're just people of few words. They're very silent a lot of the time. So when they do say something that's comedic, it's usually just telling people that they're full of shit or something. But it's funny because it's you were just being there silent, and then you opened your mouth and said, oh, you're full of shit. So it's not super funny, but I think they're funny when they're possessive over their food. I know this is typical, but I legit knew a Taurus who got so upset because their mom ate their pimento cheese in the refrigerator, and just their reaction was so funny. It was like, Mom, my cheese, how could you? It was so dramatic, and yeah, I thought that was fucking hilarious. But anyway, number three, Gemini. Okay, do I even need to explain this? Gemini is I can't be around Gemini people because I lose all of my maturity. I go from a mature, level-headed woman to just an idiotic kid, and I can't be responsible around a Gemini. I'm just a laughing idiot around them because they're so funny. And the reason why they're funny is because, you know, they're an air sign, so they know better. They know what pisses people off and what doesn't piss people off, and they go in with that knowledge, and they still piss people off because they don't like to have a filter when they talk, and they like getting reactions out of people. They like shaking things up in that way. And I think it's just the funniest thing that they know exactly what they're doing, and then when people react badly to it, they're just like, what's the problem here? God, you guys aren't fun. And I can't even give examples, you guys, because you would hate me. Like, real Gemini humor is so not PC at all, so I cannot even give you specific examples, other than to say that you guys are just so ridiculously funny. And yeah, I knew a Gemini once that, just to make me laugh, ran up to a mall elf and like humped their leg. And that was just like the funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. But anyway, also Russell Brand is a really good example of a Gemini comedian. So number 4, Cancer. Cancer is funny in 2 different ways. Cancer is funny when they make fun of themselves for being so emotional, because Cancer people are just ridiculously emotional, and I say that with love because I'm a Cancer moon. So whenever they're making fun of their very dramatic emotions, it's funny, you guys. It reminds me of that comedian. His name's Fluffy. He calls himself Fluffy. I forget his full name though. If you know it, help me out here. And he's always making fun of his kids. I think that's a Cancer thing. If you have kids, you love making fun of them. And another thing, Cancer is unintentionally funny whenever they're like blowing off steam and ranting about something that upset them, you know, a moment where they had to take out the pinchers, because Cancer knows exactly where to hit you in your most insecure spots. And when they unleash that wrath on other people, it's intense. So when they share these experiences about unleashing their wrath, it's really funny, because it's like, oh, you just told someone that you hope their grandmother dies of cancer. Like, it's to that level sometimes. Cancer is also funny because they're kind of immature. I'm a Cancer moon, remember, don't come for me. But like, it almost reminds me of, do you guys remember Stuart from Mad TV, the grown-ass man who acted like a baby? Like, that's kind of like Cancer to me. And also Will Ferrell, oh my god, it's like, think of Elf, how immature he acted in there. Like, so funny. I just, yeah, love Cancers when they're in that funny mode. All right, number 5, Leo. So Leo to me is a very funny sign for a couple of reasons. Number 1 is that they're kind of like a big brother energy. You know, imagine a big brother like holding something up here, knowing that you're too short to reach it, that type of humor. And they just don't give any fucks. If they sense that there's an audience, like humor-wise, and they know that they can get a reaction out of that audience, they will go all the way. They will, you know, pants you, they will give you wedgies, they will do all these performative things, keyword performative, just to get a reaction out of other people spectating. And sometimes they just do it for themselves because they're bored and they think it's hilarious. I mean, my big brother's a Leo, and one time I walked home from high school and he was like, oh, Mina, you must be so thirsty. Oh, let me fix you a glass of juice. This is really good juice. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. So I sat down and I just felt so loved, and I drank the juice and it was fucking pickle juice. I was pissed, but that shit is funny. So yeah, stuff like that. And it's also funny because they take themselves so seriously. So most people don't take themselves seriously. So if you just see the reactions to things, like if a Leo feels insulted, my Aquarius brother always says it's like, et tu, brute, like so dramatic of a reaction. So yeah, gotta love those funny Leos. So let's go to number 6, Virgo. I really love Virgo humor. Again, to me, the earth signs are never intentionally funny. Well, maybe Virgo, because like, I can imagine them writing a script. I'm sure there's tons of like Virgos who work for comedy shows that write everything out, but for the most part, I think they're funniest when they're not trying to be. And the funniest I think Virgos are is when they're ranting, because they are kind of like the spiciest earth sign. Wow, they can critique pretty much anything with legs or even no legs. Like if it exists, they can critique it. And when they're fed up with something, it's hilarious to know their exact thoughts. I have a few Virgo people that I can get on the inside with, and I just love hearing what they think. For example, it's just kind of like this. Like, let's just say a Virgo is just super fed up with their coworker or one of their friends, and they're just like, God, you know what? You need to just get a fucking job. You need to take a shower. You need to stop being a lazy fuck. And maybe your life won't suck so much. Like, they're that type of humor. And it's just, it cuts. It cuts if you're on the receiving end of it. But it's just so funny to hear, like, them fed up like that. And yeah, they can roast you like no one else. And there's always some bits of truth in it, which kind of stings. But anyway, Libra, number 7. So Libra, is funniest when they're just really good at imitating people, because they're very socially observant, because they always want to be like very accepted and fair and diplomatic. So that means that they're watching people, they're people watchers. And because of this, they can make really good impressions. Like one of my first boyfriends, he was a Libra, and he could always do like a perfect Jim Carrey impersonation, and it was just like, wow, this is so funny. But yeah, that's a funny part of them, and takes a lot of skill because they do it down to the detail, you guys. But my favorite thing about Libra when they're funny is really like when you're on the inside circle with them and they feel comfortable enough to kind of lower their social mask with you. They'll tell you what they really think about things, which is big because they're usually just so focused on being polite. And especially if they've been dealing with Karens or Chads, like just to hear their thoughts on things is so funny. They're like, this is fucking rude because this bitch did this and all this. It's just like hearing them so un-Libra is just so funny, and I love it. All right, so number 8, Scorpio. So Scorpio is funny because they will go to extreme lengths to make you laugh if that's their objective. You know, they're not really known for humor, but when they do want to make you laugh, they will do what it takes. I mean, they'll risk it for the laughter. And I know this because one of my best friends who has passed away, unfortunately, his name was Andy. Like, I met him a long time ago in the wild internet days when we were just middle schoolers, and he would legit do stuff to make me laugh that would nowadays probably get him arrested, which is why I can't give you I can't give you specific examples, but he would go in chat rooms and just like say really crazy stuff just to make me laugh, and I really miss that. God rest your soul. But also, they kind of have dark humor too. Like, they can make really horrible things funny, like really, like, death can be funny to them. They can find something funny in that. Like, serious issues they can kind of make funny sometimes, which is pretty nice. I like it. Number 9, you guys, Sagittarius. Why is Sagittarius funny? Does this even need an explanation? Kind of like Gemini. Why is Sagittarius funny? Duh, because they're fucking hilarious. They're just born that way. But they are different than Gemini because they don't go into it knowing they're gonna piss someone off all the time. Like, Gemini is very socially like aware and they just do shit anyway, but like Sagittarius is more action focused and is not plugged into that social component all the time. So they literally are just going into a situation like galloping like a horse in order to say their piece, to say their truth. It really isn't any bad intent, but if they happen to piss people off, they're just going to like take advantage of the situation to highlight like, well, this is why you're full of shit, and this is like my lecture and I'm outlining why I'm right. And then the funniest thing is that after like all this explosion happens, they're like, we're still friends, right? And they're like, no. I love that about Sagittarius. And yeah, speaking of the full of shit, that's kind of like their life philosophy. Like, we're all full of shit, I'm full of shit, you're full of shit, he's full of shit, so let's just all have fun being full of shit together. And it's really funny. I mean, they're kind of right, and that's why they're just so like relaxed, and you can have a lot of fun with them. They also think stuff is funny, like when they see someone trip or fall, like those type of little things, because they're clumsy themselves and do that, so they think that's really funny. So if you trip and fall in front of a Sagittarius, like, before they help you out, they're going to laugh at you, then help you out, which, hey, that's totally fine. I love Sagittarius. A good example of Sagittarius humor is Jon Stewart. It's an intelligent humor because there's always some truth, kind of like Virgo to Sagittarius humor. So they're gonna like explain to you why something's full of shit and expose it, and they're gonna use like facts to back it up too, and they'll just have like ridiculous ways of putting stuff together that's just like true but so funny, because it's like, wow, you really went there. Like, I love it. I love Sagittarius people, and I just kind of like Gemini, I can't be around them because I go from a very mature woman to just like a very idiotic child in no time, which is why like I honestly love them. I have so much fun with them. But yeah. Number 10, Capricorn. So Capricorn, again, I don't personally think that earth signs are funny intentionally. I think they're just funny when they're normally going about their day, like their normal behavior is just funny kind of. But Capricorn's kind of different because when they intentionally try to be funny, it's funny because it's so bad, because it's like dad jokes and you just can't help but laugh. And another thing that's funny about them is that they kind of take the Sagittarius philosophy that, oh, we're all full of shit, let's just laugh because we're all full of shit together. They take that to the next level. They're like, we're all alive, we all take shits, we all work, pay taxes, and then you just die. Like, that's like, they're just so cut and dry, very realistic like that. And that's kind of like their humor, just in their extreme realism. And it reminds me of this really, like, one of my favorite movies is Sleepless in Seattle. I'm showing my Cancer moon here, but Meg Ryan in that movie is asking her brother like a really romantic question. Like, she really wants an emotional answer out of this guy, and he just reminds me of a Capricorn. She asks him, why did you get married to your wife? And, you know, she's like expecting to hear something really romantic, and he literally says, we got married because she said if we didn't get married that she was going to break up with me. And to me, that shit's hilarious. Like, that's really funny. Like, stuff like that, yeah. And they kind of think shit is funny too, almost like an Aquarius. Like, is it a Saturn thing? Is that where the bathroom humor is coming here? I don't know, you guys. Let me know in the comments. I'm just dying to crack this mystery. Let's go to number 11, which is Aquarius. Okay, I know when I say this that there's gonna be one of you guys that says, oh, not me, but that's just the typical Aquarius thing. You guys always want to be different, which is awesome. I love that about you. But to me, nothing says Aquarius humor other than bathroom humor. You guys think shit is just the funniest thing in the world. Like, shitting and farting. That's like Aquarius humor right there. If you don't have any shit stories or stories about farting, then just go home. You're not gonna last with these people. I mean, it is so uncanny. I have an Aquarius brother, Aquarius nephew, and several Aquarius friends, and it's like a common theme. It's never failed me. You guys just love talking about shit, literally. Like, and it's like, I just laugh. I mean, I'm just so used to it that I guess I'm a part of the shit club too, but it's kind of disgusting. But care to explain in the comments why is shit, literally shit, so funny to you? I would love to know. Aquarius is also funny. Like, they like to make fun of themselves because they don't have like a huge ego like Leo. So they don't mind, if they're in control of it, making fun of themselves for, you know, for the collective sake. And I think that's why they think shit's funny, because it's like a collective thing that we all share. We all do that, you know. So they just think it's funny to pick apart something that we all do. But yeah, they like roasting themselves, especially if it makes their friends laugh. They love making their friends laugh, and they love roasting their friends. I should have said that about Sagittarius. Sagittarius loves roasting their friends too. And if you can't let them do that, then that's not good. But yeah, so Aquarius loves making their friends laugh, and they love it when their friends give them the freedom to, you know, make fun of them too. So yeah, and they also just like laugh at really inappropriate things, and really will laugh at like funerals, like places you're not supposed to laugh because of that Uranus component. And I totally think this rubbed off on me from my brother, but then again, like, Uranus is conjunct to my chart ruler, and I think my best friend Denise is a little bit like this. Like, it's like if you tell me I'm not supposed to laugh, then I'm just gonna laugh. Like, at church, funerals, like, it's really bad. But last thing I'll say about Aquarius humor is that they also laugh at people's misfortunes, but only if they really care about you. And I think it's just that Uranus component again, like that unexpected reaction. Like, my brother's like this. I will tell him something bad that happens to me and he'll just laugh about it. Like, this little pimple on my chin. I was like, oh, I have a pimple on my chin, what am I gonna do? And he was like, ha, that sucks, why don't you just put a Hello Kitty band-aid on it? Like, and he just thought that was so funny. Like, and just, he always reacts like that to bad stuff. And I think I kind of have that too. I absorbed it from him, I guess, because my cousin says I do that to her. She's like, you laugh at my pain. I do. I can't help it. If I care about you, I'm probably just going to laugh about you when you're talking about serious, upsetting things sometimes. But yeah, Aquarius people, seriously, love you guys. You're so funny. Number 12, Pisces. Ending off on Pisces. Why is Pisces funny? Well, Pisces is funny when, kind of like Cancer, when they make fun of their emotions, because Pisces can get really wrapped up in their emotions to the point where they can't be functional people like a Virgo would. So really, when they're making fun of their own dysfunctional ways is when they're really hilarious. Like, I have a friend, his name is Derek. He likes to be called Big D. But he like told me about this story about a girl who dumped him in high school, and he said, yeah, I just wanted to go to the freeway and lay there like this and listen to Yellow Card, My Only One. I mean, like, how dramatic and dysfunctional is that? I was like, oh, so you wanted to go risk your life and lay down on the freeway and listen to a shitty emo song. That is hilarious. Like, that's kind of like Pisces humor. So yeah, just making fun of their dysfunction. Like, oh, I'm just going to lay in bed all day and, you know, cry myself to sleep and then probably miss work tomorrow. Like, it's not like the best humor, but it's like, it's a certain type of funny, you guys. And I think that Pisces, maybe along with the other mutable signs, because they're so adaptive, they could probably figure out what you want to hear and tell you that. That's probably why Gemini is so funny. They just know what people want to hear, but ultimately they just do what they want to do. But anyway, yeah, that's why I think Pisces is funny. They're just not on this planet. Yeah, that's another thing. Pisces is funny because they could just be so disconnected from everything. Like, people could be hating on them, or people could be doing anything around them, and then they're like, Pisces, what do you think? And then Pisces is just like, what just happened? Like, and that's funny in itself. But anyway, I do want to dedicate this video to my best friend Denise and my mom. They have their birthday today, and I just love them so much. They're two of my favorite people on the planet, and yeah, I think that they always make me laugh, and I'm really appreciative for them in my lives. Love them both very much. Yes, my mother is a trolley Sagittarius and literally can't go anywhere with her. For example, went to my nephew's concert. He's in band, and I couldn't look at her because I knew if I looked at her I was gonna laugh, because she was straight up making fun of how all the kids can't play their instruments properly. And yes, I will say it, if you're a middle schooler in band, you probably can't fucking play your instrument, and that shit is funny. But anyway, you guys, I really hope you liked this video. I had so much fun doing it. I would love to hear your comments about who you think is funny in the zodiac, and I'm just so looking forward to hearing from my aquas. Please, someone explain the shit humor, the bathroom humor. I really need some answers here. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.